It is live actually, but just now it says you're live, but I think I'm live for like 3 seconds or so. Anyways, what is up, guys? How are you all doing? What's cracking, people? What's cracking, gangsters? This time I've tricked you. No sexy glasses, they're here. So yeah. Well, before we actually start the live stream, I don't know if you heard. I mean, you probably heard because I've been rambling about that like crazy. I have a free challenge which started today, but well, it started today, so you can go my Facebook group and participate. But now I'm going to have on next Thursday a live webinar, and I'm going to put a link right there in the chat for everybody to sign up. So it's a really cool live webinar. It's going to be live. I'm going to be there like here. So like here talking to you directly. But anyways, more about that at the end of this live stream. Now I'm going to go through the topic of the live stream. Before I start talking about anything, please, your questions, when we get to that part, don't ask me, how can I fix this issue? My ads are not showing. This live stream is not for that. Ask me about productivity, how you can learn better. I'm really good at optimizing things like optimizing yourself for learning, for having a schedule to follow. So ask me about those things. Anyways, let's get on. Already 28 people. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So the topic of this live stream is how to write better code, how to optimize your games. Now, there are a few things that I noticed about beginners and what they do. And I'm not looking at the chat. I'm going through all the content, and I will come back to the chat. So I've noticed a couple of things that beginners do a lot, and I want to address them right here that will help you create your games and optimize them better. First and foremost, and I have them here in a list, so don't use rigid bodies in update calculations. There are times when you're going to use them for specific reasons, but sometimes not that often. But when you use add force, when you use those things, don't do that in the update function. I see a lot of people do that. Fixed update is for physics calculation, anything that has to do with rigid bodies. So don't put that code in the update function itself. A lot of people do this. A lot of beginners, I see them do this. It's a huge mistake. I mean, if you're creating a basic game, it will not hurt your game overall. But if you add more and more code, then it can get messy. So rule number one, don't put rigid body code in the update. Use fixed update. Rule number two, which is don't create new objects in update. Don't use instantiate. I see this a lot. People create like bullets and stuff like that, and they like fire 30 bullets, and they use instantiate 30 times in the update function, which is not optimized at all. Now, especially on mobile, some hardcore computers can take it, but mobile will not be able to take that. So don't use instantiate to create new game objects inside of the update function without preventing that happening that so many times. For example, if you have a code structure where you only instantiate once in the update, that's totally fine. That can go. That is cool. You have a Boolean value and you test if that is true, then you instantiate, then you set it to false. That is totally cool. That is okay, and you can do that. But don't overuse instantiate. In general, don't overuse instantiate. So use it piece by piece if you don't want to be hurt by performance, especially on mobile. That is rule number two. So you need to keep track with me. Use a notepad and write all that down. Rule number three is don't use destroy game object too much. Especially if you have bullets in your game, don't overuse destroy to destroy them, to remove them from your game, because that also will hurt performance. And overall, I see a lot of people use that in the update as well. So avoid using that. Instead, use set active. The other day, one guy commented he added a comment in the comment section, said like, it's better to use destroy because if you use set active, it will be in memory. No, it will not, because if you deactivate a game object, the scripts on that game object will not run. The code in those scripts will not run. The update function in those scripts will not run. So if you have an enemy game object, for example, and you have AI script to move the enemy, maybe damage script to detect damage, or health script to detect health, how many health it has and be dealt damage to. If you set active false on that game object, on that enemy, the AI script will not work, the enemy will not move. The animation script, if you have any attached on it, it will not work. It will not animate the character, the enemy. And the health script will also not work. It will not detect how much health the enemy has, or you will not be able to deal damage to him. So yeah, it's not in the memory. But then when you activate the game object again, you can continue to use those scripts. That is the cool part. If you use destroy too often, then on mobile, most of these things that I'm talking about they hurt performance on mobile because you guys are, for some reason, obsessed with mobile games. They are crazy about mobile games. So you need to be careful when you're creating mobile games, okay? Rule number 4 is don't use game object find in the update as well. So most of these things are in the update because these are the things that I see people do a lot. When I get to review the code, when somebody posts his code, when somebody is like, I'm creating a game and I have an issue here, he takes a screenshot of his code and the update function looks like a horror movie. Like literally, all the code is over there and over here and blah, blah, blah. And you have all the code that you should not use in the update. You have it in the update. One of those codes is game object find. So game object find will go in the hierarchy, go in the game. So in the hierarchy, and it will search for every game object to find the game object with the given name. Now, some developers suggest that you should not use game object find at all. I tend to use it in the awake function, especially if I have a couple of game objects to get. Like, I usually have 2 or 3 to get. That is not a problem at all. When you will get in trouble is when you have like thousands and thousands of game objects that you need to get at once. Now that is an issue that you need to be careful. And especially on mobile, don't do it in the update function. So get rid of it. Get rid of it. I see a lot of beginners do that. And number 5, so rule number 5 that I want to talk about on this live stream, and then I'm going to get to the questions, is when you're writing scripts, I see a lot of people a lot of beginners and people in general online, they put all their code in a single script. So for example, if they're create a player, they put the animation code in a single script, they put the code to move the player in a single script, they put the code to attack, they put the code to detect collision, all in a single script. That's not how it works. Unity prefers that you separate everything in a separate script. So for example, if you have animations, this is what I'm doing in my tutorials. Everything you see me do in my tutorials is not in vain. I'm not doing it because I'm bored or whatever. I'm showing also best practices, how I learned it and how I learned other people do it, especially watching Unity tutorials by official Unity tutorials, which is what I mean. Now, as I said, what you should do is if you want to animate your character, separate the code for the animation in one script. If you want to make him move and interact, so make him move, detect the input, move him left, right, make him jump, put that in a single script. If you have an attack script, so you want to attack with the enemy, put that in a separate script, and you can attach all those scripts on the player. You can attach all those scripts on the player, and they will interact. They will be able to do their thing because and that is more optimized because every single script is doing its job. There is a single script trying to do 30 things. So yeah, make sure to separate out your code in separate scripts, especially when you have a lot of operations doing, like for the character, for example. I'm talking about the character because usually you want to animate him, make him move, make him attack, detect damage, deal damage. These are 5 different operations, and you are going to separate them in 5 different scripts. So be careful when you're putting your code. Think about where you're going to put it, and don't overuse a single script. So these are the 5 things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to optimization in Unity and optimizing your code. So now I'm going to come to your questions. I'm going to answer a couple of questions, but before that, here is a link for you guys to sign up for the live event. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really awesome and amazing, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's free, by the way. It's a free event, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to talk about things that I don't talk here. I'm going to talk about things that I don't talk about in my emails or my channels. So it's going to be really cool. So yeah, hop in. I'm going to attend a couple of questions. Then I'm going to go. I'm going to try to make this live stream a top 15 minutes, hopefully, because the others were like half an hour. So let's go through these questions. Thanks for the TOs. Where can I find all this best practices? Any book? No, I rarely read books when it comes to development. I watch tutorials, and most of the things that I told you is what I learned from watching Unity official tutorials. So most of these things I learned by watching Unity official tutorials, okay? I can read and understand C# very well, but for some reason when it comes writing original code, I go blank a lot. Anyway, to fix that, what I understood is that you can understand C# when you're coding, like when you're following the tutorial, but when you try to create something on your own, then you're stuck. Well, for that, you need to practice more. You need to practice more. This is what I preach all the time. Alternative for spine. For spine what? Spine animation or what? It's like the fourth time you're asking the same question. Turn to spine, turn to spine. Can you make a video for spine or ass animation? Can you make a video on spine in Unity color? What is wrong with you guys in spine? You are awesome. Thank you, man. I noticed I kept getting errors when I was using Destroy. Set active worked better for me. Yeah, exactly. Sir, your mic don't sound too good. I'm using my Zoom H1 mic, this one. So, yeah, this one that... hello, hello, can you hear me? Hello? What's wrong? I think you can hear me. I don't know. Anyways, maybe I messed up something. So, yeah, I cannot do anything now because, yeah, the live stream is already on. Anyways, if you have a couple of more questions. Hello, I begin with your C#, as you said in your first live. It says following love from India. Okay, love for you. Do you know MATLAB? No. A couple of more questions. Come on, hit me up. 33 people. For those of you guys who just joined, watch the first 8 minutes of the live stream because that's where I talk about the 5 most common things I see a lot of beginners do and a lot of people online do that will hurt your optimization and performance. What is this challenge? Tell me, please. Go on the Facebook group. The challenge started. I explain everything over there. One more time, here is a link to sign up for the live event, which is going to be our next Thursday. It's really cool. I don't host a lot of live events in terms of webinars. It's going to be like a 1-hour webinar. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff over there. We can hear you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, Florian. Hi, man. What is up? Anyways, I don't see too many questions, which means, guys, you know everything. So I am going to... Oh, no. What the hell did I do? For some reason, I don't know what I click. Anyways, I'm going to move. Do a gamer need to make assets or who make them? If you have a team, you don't have to make an asset. You can have somebody else do it. But if you're working on your own, you either have to buy online or create your own. I arrive to leave. Don't worry, Florian. Just go and watch the first 8 minutes. It's going to be really cool. I'm talking about some really nice things, tips and tricks. I have made a couple of games in Unity. I'm thinking about third-person hack and slash RPG. Would that be too hard in Unity? It will not be too hard in Unity, but it will probably be hard for you if you're just at the beginning stages. And based on what you told me, you created a couple of games. I'm assuming they are basic, so don't go and try to create something complicated. I got a question for you, comment higher. Can you just repeat it right now? Hey, I need a tutorial to make a graphics-rich Android game. No. Can I make a good 3D game alone? Yeah, it will take time. What are the agenda for next sessions? I don't know. I have that on my phone, so I put things over here. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I would do. You got any links towards a playlist to learn coding, Unity tutorial? I have a hard time finding a good tutorial playlist. Yeah, I have that. Just go on my playlist. Go on my YouTube channel. Go on playlist. You will find a C# playlist only about coding in Unity. So, yeah, go there. We don't know everything, but we can learn everything. Exactly. That is the attitude that I want. Now, it's 30 minutes, so I think that's enough. And usually, and I'm surprised yes, you can use Blender to create assets for Unity. This live stream, you guys didn't have any questions, a lot of questions, that is. But anyways, I am going to go. So I confirm I learned a lot from Austin. Thank you. Florian is actually one of the guys who's my premium course since he's a really good guy, awesome guy. Have you tried ML agents on Unity to make? No. So one more time, here it is, live event. For those of you guys who want to sign up, I'm going to go now. For those of you who just joined, go watch first 8 minutes of this live stream because I talk about a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, guys, I'm off. Thank you for watching and see you next time.